What's up, fam? Hope you guys are doing great today. We have a great episode for you today. But before we start, I just want to show you guys what it's like to be a crypto bro, meme coiner right now.
Tears cleaned my soul and I cried. Took a cup, filled it up with you, with all the joy and the sorrow and the fear. Oh, I let myself cry. Oh, I let myself.
That's pretty much how it feels. Like, you may want to laugh about it, but you kind of feel dead inside a little bit, don't you? And remember, hard times make strong men, right? So get ready to be stronger, fight harder, attack this market when it turns around. Don't be crying like a little biatch in the pool with other men saying, oh my God, why me? That is how you become poor, because your mindset is. Not saying there's anything wrong with crying, but we all did enough of that when we were babies. So let's just jump into the charts and see what's actually happening in crypto. And I'm going to show you something that I actually figured out yesterday after I did the video. I was like looking for, what are potential areas, bounce? Where can we bounce? What's our more macro than just the daily? Now, obviously the daily is very bearish, but are there signs, at least for Bitcoin, that are positive? And I'm going to show you today what those would be. So jump into Bitcoin. I know my chart's a little bit messy, but I understand it. And really, honestly, when you do charting, it's only for you. It doesn't matter what other people think. But I'm looking at this and, yesterday we had like this really nice bullish engulfing candle. We closed at 82.3, almost 83. And then we had today's candle where we had a tweezer top. And really it's not a tweezer top because it's not at resistance. This was not at support. So it's kind of like we're in limbo area. Like we probably will either have to go higher or we have to go lower. But, there's more potential to go lower than to go higher at this point. As we all know, there is some things that are coming out this week. So there are some things like CPI, that's coming out today. Tomorrow we have PPI, which is basically the pricing of items before they go on the shelf. So is the fact that inflation is going down, repricing things a little bit lower? Is Trump starting to see the oil prices and the food price, all this stuff that I was talking about yesterday, are those things going to start declining? Right? And likely, with what he has been doing, that is going to happen. And they're going to be able to refinance the debt of America less. They're going to draw down the dollar so it's not as powerful so that people can afford things. They're going to make people force them out of the stock market into the bond market. And that's exactly the play on the macro that Trump wants. So I know an average person out there doesn't understand finance. It doesn't understand how this political game is being played. And really, it's just about informing yourself and becoming more intelligent about what the actual house of cards are and what Trump is trying to do. Now, obviously, he's agitating a lot of people in Canada. My Canadian Canucks, I'm sorry, but, US has a lot of power, and I don't think that you're going to be able to do very much against them. But there is also the jobless. Tomorrow, there's going to be the joblessness. How many people have lost their jobs or gained jobs in the last a few weeks, and all this stuff is supposed to change, right? So this stuff does not go overnight, right? And Trump kind of explained this, and so did Elon, that we're probably gonna have some turmoil in the markets. Like, Elon's lost a lot of money since he became president, right? And he's still fully supportive. So is Trump. Everyone's lost money. They're losing money to drain the swamp. When they said we're gonna drain the swamp, they meant it. They meant they're gonna drain out all these assholes that have been basically propping up prices and putting you guys in a bad position, right? So let's look at Bitcoin, because it's what you guys are here for. What is it going to do next? Well, I was looking at potential levels, right? Now you can see this big blue box that I drew. This is an actual level where we could bounce. And the reason why it's an actual level we could bounce is because there's actual support potentially there. Now, if we try to say that this CME gap that filled was support, this is not support. This is the weakest support you could ever have. It's like putting a Cheeto to lock your door, right? It's going to be able to break very easily. So where are we going next, right? Now we have a couple of things that can happen, but the reality is that our golden retracement level. So if you can see here, you can see this line, this white line right here. It is the Fibonacci from the lowest low. We had that huge head and shoulders down to the highest high. So we bring it up, and what we see is very clearly that we have a 618 retracement, golden retracement level, which is coinciding with this box, right? This top area. Not only that, if we go on the weekly chart, This is when it starts to get more interesting. So you guys know I'm an Ichimoku trader, and we look for Kijin bounces. And right at the same level of the 618 retracement level is the Kijin that's flat, which has been pulling the price down because it got way too far away. And any of you know that know me, know that I talk about this. And as you saw over here in March, it got very far away from a Kijin, so it pulled it back down. And guess what happened on the head and shoulders? It tapped exactly off the weekly Kijin. And then we went higher. Could this be the play? Could it be? We have a level of support, we have a 618 retracement level, and we have the Kijin. We have 3 extremely strong levels of potential bounce. But where is that? Unfortunately, that's around 74, 73K. Now, that would coincide pretty nicely with what some other people said. And as you see, the prediction is that it's going to go a little bit higher, so it's potentially going to bounce around there, or we'll probably wick it, same as we did over here in August. So we're not in a horrible situation right now. We've had a 30% drawdown, but we've had those every single cycle. And if you look from here, from the top to where we went down to, it was literally a 30%, like exactly almost to the dot. What I would say is alts are in a different situation. Alts are the crying men in the pool. The meme coin guys are crying in the pool. Most people are messaging me. You go from being a KOL to help people with understanding about money and finance and just giving a trading strategy and they understand, to becoming a therapist for people and yourself. Because honestly, self-talk is very important, and most people, when bad things happen, tell themselves that they're stupid or they don't know what they're doing, or you go in through this loathing area. Whereas you should do the opposite. You shouldn't be loathing, you shouldn't be sad, you should be looking at opportunity. Where is the opportunity in the sadness, in the harsh times? How do I benefit? So now we're looking for what is the next big play. We had the 3 inside down, I talked about this. Then we crushed all the way down to 76. And here's the reality. Every time I tell you guys about these 3 inside ups and these 3 inside downs, it's literally playing out exactly the way I tell you. Here's a 3 inside down, we dropped off a cliff. So we had a 3 inside down. As you guys know, if you've been following me, this is one of the highest percentage trades that you can take on the daily time frame. And people have been telling me, no, you're wrong, but go look at the patterns over time. I can show you many of these that actually played out perfectly. And I'll show you the difference between one that works and one that doesn't. When you have a 3 inside up or 3 inside down at resistance or support, it matters. When it's in a limbo area, you don't actually call that. You don't trade it. So I've talked about this in my videos if you watch. Now again, this was at a support level. Sometimes they fail. But here's one. 3 inside down from a top. Boom, all the way down to here. So this one would have been an entry at like 69, and you would have seen at some point somewhere in here you likely would have sold off as it started to come back up. But you'd have been in a $10,000 per Bitcoin trade, right? And then you have back here another 3 inside down, which brought us all the way to this 3 inside up. So you would have entered here, likely would have exited at some point, and then you have your 3 inside up here, which would have brought you to your 3 inside down there. So it's almost like sometimes they trade off, but this is something I've been trading for years and years. This was a little bit of a fake out. Likely you would have been caught in that. But here's a 3 inside up, which would have brought you to this 3 inside down there. But again, not at real resistance. That was not a real resistance. Maybe a little bit, but it was kind of in between. So that one wouldn't count. Here's a 3 inside up that broke us out of the wedge, and then we just started ripping. So 3 inside up and 3 inside down are probably one of my favorite trades. And we had a lot of these like at the start of the cycle, where this 3 inside down brought us all the way here, and I was talking about that bringing us down, where over here we had a 3 inside down, and that brought us down. We had a 3 inside up, brought it up. We had a 3 inside down, which actually, as I was pointing, brought us down. And here's the funny thing. Technically, you can see the market structure of these. All right, so going back to Bitcoin, we had 3 inside down, we bottomed a little bit here, but we haven't really found a bottom. The real bottom should be somewhere between 74 and 72. That's where I would see us really bouncing with some conviction. We do have a few things happening, like, CPI could come out today, give us some positive news. We could have PPI come out and say like prices are going down a little bit. Joblessness, are jobs going up, are they going down? Also gonna affect the market. But ultimately, there's a lot of positive news, right? Like Fidelity just said that they're going to go and they're going to make it so you can stake your ETH on their platform. So people think ETH is dead. I think that's what they want you to think. I think that's what they want you to think about anything legitimate and real, because that's how the bigger players get in. They get you to sell. They get you to be fearful. And obviously they know that you probably haven't sold enough, so you're going to be fearful. You're going to sell at a loss. You're going to sell at a very small gain in order for them to get into those tokens and then push them higher. Now, the difference between retail, which we're used to in all the other cycles, and institutions think in a 10-year period. They don't think in like a year or two. So they're not really concerned about the short term. And they don't have to because they have all this money, and you don't. So you put more money than you can afford to lose, and that's where you get in a bad situation. So understand the play, understand your enemy, right? Like your enemy isn't really the institutions, but it's kind of the institutions. Now, Ethereum, that's also one that doesn't look so great. You know, we really, really, really need to figure out where ETH is going next. We have some levels over here. So as you can see in the past, last cycle, we came into the same pocket, right? This $1,700 pocket. We did that this cycle too. As we came down, it turned into support and now then it was support, then it turned into resistance, then it went above, then it was support, and it was support, then it was resistance, then it was support, and then it went higher. And then we came up, did the McDonald's pattern times 2, and now we're back in that pocket. So if we don't hold that pocket, we're going to this pocket right down here. And I'm just going to draw these right across from last cycle because honestly, they're still super relevant. So there's 2 zones, right? ETH could get down to this one. This could be really ugly if it gets down that low. I really hope it doesn't get that low, but I kind of expect if we can't hold this level for us to definitely go lower. So ETH, it's flashing everything that it should start to go up. It really, really should. But what it should do and where we're at in the cycle and what it will do are not guarantees in this cycle, so or in this life as well. So be careful. We had a triple top, 1, 2, 3 top. We had 3, 4 tops pretty much around 4,000. Unfortunately, there's a lot of other chains and Solana and meme coins are the thing, and ETH is expensive, so that's what really caused it to kind of suffer this cycle. But I don't know in the long term if RWAs it's going to suffer with all those guys. So that's the real key to look at here. Now, Total 1, Total 2, we talked about yesterday. They're right at support right now, right? Like 2.46 is support for total market cap. You know, we're pretty much at the same level here as well. So you can see that's also a level of support all the way down to like 865 billion. And then we have this one, which is without Ethereum, which is a little bit better situation. But again, it's right at support. So we would either have to bounce here or we're going to start looking out below. And I don't know how bad Trump wants to push the markets down. Like we're looking at this, right? I'm just going to turn on the regular Ichimoku again, just so you can see it. And it does not look good on the SPX, right? Like and here's the thing, there's not really a level of support anywhere here. It's kind of in this point where like it could go all the way back down to these levels, 49 or even the 4,500. So if that happens, it's going to be a really, really, really ugly year for the SPX. NASDAQ looks the same. So we don't really have a lot of, and NASDAQ's bearish retesting the 200 EMA. So that's not looking so great. There was warning signs all the way up from the RSI, kind of called the top actually right here to get out. And when we look at the Dow, it's the same thing. It actually looks more like a McDonald's pattern. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. You loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. You loving it. We got the golden arches, baby. So we could look at other alts, and I could bore you with all of them and tell you that, you know, they're all going to be okay. I would say, again, few points to keep considering. Number 1, which ones have revenue? Which ones have users? Which ones have a product or service that you will use or could use or see other people using? You don't have any of those. Why are you invested in this project? Why are you holding this token? You need to understand that everything that crypto did before doesn't work. It's all going to be coming down to revenue, product, service, money. Money has to come in to support the price. Otherwise, you cannot do anything. You're screwed. So understand that. And if you understand that, then you're going to be okay. But you need to consolidate your assets into projects that you believe in truly with certainty. You can't be going into projects that you don't really believe in and think that you're going to have a great result. The reality is, you can't do that. And this cycle has changed and it's different. So learn and understand how to adapt and pivot yourself, or you're going to be one of these guys. Guys, cue in the guys crying in the pool. And now the question everyone's been asking me, Coach, how are the bots? Are they wrecked? Nah, they're not wrecked. We're stuck in a little bit of a dodge trade right now, but very close to getting out of that one. And we're only down $1,000 today. Not so bad. Our other trades actually close in profit, as you can see, our Solana and our XRPs. So we're just waiting for Dogecoin to come back up. You know, it wouldn't take a very big move for that to happen, like I told you all. And you know, this is with the USDT bot, so it's spot trading, right? So we kind of swing, we wait, and it will exit when it needs to exit. But I don't really control that. I just let it do its thing. I could have exited. I could do it. I don't care. Honestly, the whole point is being transparent. So that's where we're at with that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys the Coach K BTC bot. So yesterday, I think we were at 1%. Today, we're at 1.1255, whatever. Let's use this one because it's the actual trades in session right now. The actual wallet balance is 1.0126%. So basically, this bot on Bitcoin is up 1.26% this month, and it's only been a week. So in 1 week, we're up 1% on Bitcoin. Do the math. If we did that 52 weeks in a row with compounding of the 1% of the assets continue compounding as they stay in there and they become bigger, they trade bigger, you make more and more, we could see that 1 Bitcoin in a year turned into 1.5. And I mean, that's really the key for me here. And again, these bots have not ever lost yet, right? Like, they don't lose. And what I mean by that is, like, most people think I'm full of crap when I say these things, and this hasn't updated for yesterday. Oh, it did update for yesterday. Good. So this updated for yesterday. You see another day of winning P&L. And again, 29 orders, 100% win. This is on a fully, like, live trading, right? And then we can look at all the trades, win, all the way through, right? So look, there's times where the market sucks and we don't know what to do. We're kind of lost. And, you know, we're sitting there going like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, and I'm scared. And then you have times where you're looking at this and you're going, what the hell, man? This is great. Here's another one. This is the Coach K Degenerate bot. So the Degen bot is very interesting because it prints a little bit more. It takes a little bit more risk, but we put a lot less money into it, right? So that's really the key piece to understand. Yesterday, it printed $346. The day before, it printed $100. And this account, let me tell you something. This account only has, wait for it, 0.21 BTC in it, right? So we're talking like $15,000 and it already printed $500 for the month, $450 for the month. And I'll show you, those are the 3 trades that it's entered and exited. And again, really, really happy with how these bots are working, right? And they're only winning. 100% win, 100% win. And like even the spot bots, 100% win, 100% win. Now they're gonna have losses at some point, for sure. But the point I'm trying to get at is that for years and years and years, they've made money and made money. It made money. So people always tell me bots don't work. They're all a scam. And I agree. Most bots are definitely a scam. But it's like, do you trust in Coach or do you trust in some random guy who told you he's got a bot? That's the difference, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Because you guys know I'm a trader. You know I make money trading. So there's some things that I realize. Many of you sometimes don't really understand some of the things I'm talking about, right? If there's things that you want to learn, like I have a free trading course, I have courses on like how crypto works. I even can do video content for you about what is CPI and how does it affect the markets if you want to learn more about these things. But what you need to do is let me know. What do you need to know? What do you not understand? And all you got to do is comment below. Follow me on Twitter. Go and subscribe, hit those bells, and then I can actually serve you best with my team. Not only that, if you're someone who wants to get closer to the Coach K community, we have a link right below in the description that you should click on and fill out so that you can get into my private community. And not only that, it will give you access to me because I'm in that community when you have questions. And so that will give you more insights as well as free trading courses and many more things that will help you. So let me know if that's something you'd like by seeing you in the chat. Peace out, everybody.